Why won't your family talk to you? Because I started an all-female fight club to get us out of our abusive marriages. I grew up in a house where black eyes and broken ribs were considered part of the marriage contract. My mom showed me how to cover a bruise with concealer before I was out of kindergarten. My grandmother called it discipline. My dad said it was just how men are, while he held his belt over my mother. My uncles and male cousins were the same, and my brothers learned fast. By the time they were old enough to date, they already knew how to slam doors, raise voices, and make apologies sound like warnings. I was the only girl, and I was so good for a while, only speaking when I was spoken to and helping my mother keep the house clean. But every year I saw more things that just made me feel dead inside. I watched my mother apologize for flinching. The first Thanksgiving after my oldest brother got married, his wife never took her sunglasses off and she had grip marks on her wrist. I watched my youngest brother punch a hole in the wall next to his fiance's head and then kiss her like nothing happened. When I was 23, I told my family I was taking a sewing class. What they didn't know was that every Tuesday and Thursday morning, I was actually taking the bus to a gym across town to learn how to fight. I learned how to get out of holds, how to break a grip, and how to shatter a nose with the heel of my hand. It wasn't about revenge, not at that point. I was just assuming that someday soon my dad was going to marry me off to a man just like the ones in my family, and I'd need to know how to survive. But then one night, while my parents were out of town, my brother's wife showed up at my door with a split lip and an overnight bag. I told her to come in, and the next morning, I asked her if she wanted to learn how to make a man regret touching her. At first, she thought I was joking, but I wasn't. I took her to the gym with me, and after the first visit, she was hooked. She signed up for my sewing class and came with me every Tuesday and Thursday after that. After that, I got a little bold and started texting the other women in my family. My other sister-in-law joined us, and then two of my female cousins. Soon, we weren't satisfied with just 2 mornings a week, so we started meeting in the middle of the night in garages and weird abandoned lots. We practiced on each other. It's not like any of their husbands noticed a few extra bruises. Their wives were already covered anyway. But one night, my brother found us. He'd tracked his wife's phone and strolled up when we were mid-practice. He grabbed her wrist in front of everyone and dragged her towards the car, telling her she was going to pay for being so effing embarrassing. She froze, and for a second I thought she might go with him. But then she pivoted her weight and elbowed him in the jaw and got him with a move she'd just finished practicing on me. He stared up at her like she was a stranger, and she just said, "Try it again." I wish I could say that that was the start of a long line of victories for the women in my family, but instead my brother went crying to our parents and told them that I'd been brainwashing their wives. Someone threw a brick through my window with a note that said Jezebel. My aunt told me I'd die alone. I gave all my self-defense books to my sister-in-law, took the meager amount of money I'd saved over the years, and left for good. It's been 9 years since I've spoken to my parents or my brothers, but I still have a group chat with my old sewing class. 3 of the women now run a safe house together. One just opened a legal clinic, and I teach self-defense at a women's shelter. I have pepper spray in my purse and a picture of my former sister-in-law with her daughter and her new husband, who she promises has never laid a finger on her. Fighting back cost me everything, but it also gave all of us a way out. I'd do it again in a heartbeat.